Hey, it's Coach Jess, and today I want to show you how to make creamy beef and potatoes. I have potatoes here that I have peeled and washed and patted dry, and then I weighed them, and I wrote down the weight of them on my handy dandy meal prep whiteboard. I also have 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup. You can use the family size. My store was out of the family size, so I bought 2 little cans. I have 2.66 pounds of ground beef. This is 93% lean ground beef. And 5 Hatch green chilies. You can use canned or jarred green chilies, but we buy them roasted and peel them and then lay them flat and freeze them. And then we put about 5 or 6 chilies in each little bag so that they're ready, easy and fast to defrost. And then we can just pull them out and chop them up and throw them in our recipes. So the first step will be to brown the ground beef, and then I'll rinse it. Well, I'll drain it and then I'll rinse it just to get all the fat out. And then I'll go on and fry the potatoes, and then chop up the green chili and mix it with the cream of mushroom soup, let it simmer a little bit, and then mix it all together. All right, and now we are browning the ground beef. So here you can see making good progress. All right, and now the ground beef is done. So I'm going to take this over to the sink where I have the strainer ready, and I'm going to strain it and then rinse it, and then I'll use the same pan to fry the potatoes. All right, and now that we drained and rinsed the beef, let's chop up the potatoes and fry them. All right, and now we're going to fry the potatoes. And I'm gonna grab the cooking spray. For some reason, these potatoes kept getting stuck on this knife. I don't know if I let them soak in water for too long and they just absorbed too much moisture. That's never happened to me quite like it did today. So what I did was I took it over and sprayed it over the trash. So sprayed it with a little bit of cooking spray to get it unstuck. But let me grab the cooking spray, spray the pan down, and start frying these potatoes. So the potatoes are burning a little bit, so I'm going to add a little bit of water so that it'll help them steam. And I turned down the heat too. I was just trying to rush because I'm running out of time for meal prep, but rushing is not a good thing. No one likes burnt potatoes, so let's not burn them. So the first thing I want to do with the green chili is I want to take out the seeds. Then I'm going to put it in the mini food processor and chop it up. I know you've seen the mini food processor basically in every meal prep that I ever do. It's one of my favorite and handiest tools. And the reason that I like to remove the seeds is because otherwise it's too spicy for me. My husband has a much higher tolerance for spice, but I do not. And so what I do is I just open it from the top and just use my hand to scrape off the seeds. You have to be careful if you're doing this, because if you wear contact lenses or you want to touch your rub your eyes or your nose later, you're going to regret it. Make sure you wash your hands well, and mostly if you're not going to make sure that it's going to be several hours before you're going to put in or take out your contacts. And I also have to be careful. I also want to take out the veins here. I also have to be careful not to drop it in the trash. You could do this over the sink. And rinsing it, you can rinse these, and sometimes I do. Like rinse the seeds off and do it over the sink with a strainer. But the thing I don't like about rinsing is that the chili has oil, and you don't want to rinse those flavor oils away. So I prefer just to use my hand to remove the seeds. I'm going to work on this side so you can see what I'm doing. So turn this on to medium. I'm trying to smell the potatoes, so I'm going to check on those. The potatoes may be done. The way I test it is by stabbing them with a fork, so let me grab a fork. Yep, they're done. They're actually a little bit softer than I would prefer, but what can you do? You can't uncook it. And now I'm putting the cream of mushroom soup and the green chili into the saucepan here so that it can simmer together. This is what it looks like. Set a timer for 5 minutes just to let that all melt. And sometimes I add water and sometimes I don't. It just depends on what we're using the creamy beef and potatoes for. Since my husband will probably make burritos, I'm gonna try not to add water to the mixture. And I've brought the ground beef that we cooked earlier, and I'm going to put it in, mix it with potatoes, and then I'm going to put it in the same pan, and then once that's heated up and has simmered for a little bit, I'll put it all in here and mix it up. I hear this gurgling. It's nice and heated through. I'm going to go ahead and add it. Now that I'm done cooking it all, I'm going to take the weight of the meal cooked and write it down so that I can put it in my FitnessPal. That's 2,499 grams. And I'm going to let it cool off here. And then once it's cool enough, I'll put it in the fridge. And that'll be our dinner for this week.